Hey y'all, so in this video today we're going to talk about affirmation water. I've been working with affirmation water for a little under a year now, I think. Um, and it has been very empowering to include in my day-to-day practice. And again, I'm a fan of affirmations. I know there's some people out there that are like, oh, affirmations take too long. You need to do other things. But being that I have a lot of Capricorn in my chart as well, which Capricorn is a very pragmatic, slow and steady sign. They have to trek over mountains and all that stuff. I have it in me to be patient with affirmations and work with them. So I'm gonna speak to it because that's where I am in my soul journey. Okay. So anyways, with affirmations, I started with affirmations with Louise Hay years ago, probably like um 6 years ago. And that was just writing them, repetition in the brain. And then I started working with affirmations with EFT tapping as well during that time frame. And then in recent years, I've explored singing affirmations as I drive to work, and it makes a huge difference. And I've started singing affirmations and speaking affirmations with the chakras in mind. So like I am, I feel, um, can't remember solar plexus, and then I love, I speak, and working with affirmations in a more conscious way with the chakras as well, singing them as well as just tapping them. I don't really write them as much these days. I was doing affirmations to stabilize me for a little bit when I was going through a really hard time last year, but I feel like I haven't needed that as much, and it's become so ingrained in me that I'm good. Um, doesn't ever hurt to brush up on affirmations though with writing them down. But anyways, strong foundations with affirmations is the point. And then I started playing with the idea of playing affirmations to my water, which I used to play affirmations to our large 5-gallon water jugs. But then I was really wanting to shift myself and not having a lot of time to shift because I was working through so much like weather PTSD, fight or flight energy, marital strife, all that jazz that I just didn't have time. I was burned out. I was low on energy. I just needed something to carry me through, which what better way to do it than by putting it in my water, which I need to drink my water every day. So I would play affirmations to my water jug while I was in the shower. So I would be listening to them and my water would be recording the affirmations because there are studies that water records what is spoken to it. And then I would drink the affirmations throughout my day. And what I discovered was when you drink affirmations, it can make you very emotional, because the affirmations move out that which is not resonant with the affirmation. And so you have to feel to heal. You also have to feel to shift resonance, right? And so when I first started doing the affirmation water, like I really had to ground into myself and allow emotions to flow through me with as much grace as I could muster up within myself. Because sometimes I just wanted to cry or blow. And it was because the affirmations were moving stuff out of me. And then after some time, the emotional capacity within me increased, which I imagine was because I was drinking the affirmations every day. The water levels in me increased holding the affirmations to where I stabilized more emotionally. And that went on for about a few weeks, and then it became more manageable. And then it was really interesting, and I could tell the affirmation water was working because that was like one of the only things I was doing for myself at that time besides journaling. Um, then when my husband and I got into it, and then when I had a disagreement with a coworker, I noticed that back in the day, I would have been super charged and reactive and upset and like would have collapsed on myself and been really flustered. But because the affirmation water had taken hold of me, I was calm. I didn't get triggered. I was able to remove myself from the situation. I was able to clearly articulate. Um, I didn't collapse and go into my abandonment wounds of, oh my God, like they're going to fire me or he's going to leave me and oh my gosh, I'm going to become homeless and this and that. Like I didn't run off with all the catastrophizing stories either. And I could tell that the affirmation water had really evened out the waters within myself. And I was very like, whoa, this is so cool. Um, so then, yeah, I kept drinking affirmation water and I did affirmation water for love and healthy relationships so that I didn't allow my partner to get away with the things that I was allowing him to get away with, which was in essence me enabling him to be emotionally immature. And the affirmation water really helped start to neutralize the imbalance in our power dynamic, where I felt like I was the mother and he was my child. It really started to make things more even. It invited him to become more even as I became more even, which he is a reflection of what was going on with some of the masculine energetics within me. And so the water soothed that out and there, it brought more balance, more smooth sailing to the table, which I was grateful for because that was a long time coming. And then I would then for a while I would alternate between like self-love affirmations, inner child affirmations, but I stayed with the same affirmations probably for like 2 months at least before switching and playing with other ones because I didn't want to go back into that emotional crying reactive process. And then I started including the teeth affirmations as well because that was a huge part of like healing my teeth and gums journey. And then yeah, so and then I would also, if I didn't listen to the affirmations in the shower, I would play the affirmations to my water while I was doing my 15-minute time on the elliptical because my affirmation video was 14 minutes. And that was my way of like two for oneing, which I'm a manifesting generator, so we do really well two for oneing. And it was just like a simple thing to incorporate into my life, and it made my inside so much more calmer and coherent. And I feel like it did fully like transform me in some ways because all the old water that had all those um naysayer thoughts, all those negative thoughts, all those like unworthy um beliefs about themselves, it seems to have just gotten flushed and I've become much more like embodied in my deservingness, in my worthiness, in my self-love, in my self-respect. And I feel that it comes from having the calm waters inside, which I mentioned in another video how Florida is like a karmic cleansing lens. And I feel like in Florida being a karmic cleansing lens, it's also really caused me to heal my relationship with the water inside of me from the inside out by drinking the affirmation water as well as really working with my emotions and keeping them healthily in motion, right? As I flow with life. And so, yeah, affirmation water is super, super helpful. The other thing I did was I also played affirmations to my eye drops and then I did tuning forks on my eye drops just because I was curious. And that was really interesting too because it made my eyes super moist more than if I just did the eye drops because sometimes the eye drops like burn and coagulate in your eyelashes and stuff. Um, but instead it made them super moist, super clear. And then it did make me emotional too though because I feel like the eye drops were like cleaning the water of my eyes. And so it was just really interesting to observe. I didn't really keep with that one. It was just kind of fun to do a little science experiment with myself. Um, and then I also do enjoy playing affirmations to the water that I water my plants with. Like I have this big pot that I put with water, and then I play affirmations to the water while I clean the house. And then I put in my like plant fungicide, insecticide, and then I put in flower essences. And then this way my plants get really beautiful love and self-care and gratitude for all that they do for our house. There were times that I definitely slacked on that, but I know the plants appreciate that I try to keep up with it to the best of my abilities. And yeah, it's just an enjoyable little ritual or ritual, as Mia Magic would say, that I've um, brought into my life. So yeah, that's what I got on affirmation water. Very helpful, very transformational, helps you ground, helps you not be as blown over in arguments or in confrontational moments, helps you have an even keel, helps you be in your heart. helps you take charge of a situation healthily, which I find highly valuable in this world in which so many people don't operate from a place of true power. They operate from a place of like opposition and force. And to me, the more power and love that we have circulating and percolating in the collective, the better off we are. So I hope that you drink affirmation water and found this video useful. And I look forward to hearing your experiences with affirmation water or um, maybe like look forward to hearing what affirmations you listened to as well. I am curious what it is like to listen to affirmation water for abundance and money. Have not done that yet, but I've had a lot of interesting things happening with money lately that I've really enjoyed and benefited from and would like more of. And maybe I'll make a video on that in the future. Anywho, thank you so much for tuning into it today and be well. Bye.